Hello, my name is Cooper Lytle, and in this video I will be researching and discussing the many ways literacy is used in a sorority chapter. And if you don't know, sororities are social organizations for female students at colleges or universities, primarily in the United States and Canada. It fosters friendship, community, and network opportunities, often emphasizing academic achievement and personal development. Now you may be wondering how literacy is actually used in a sorority. I asked myself the same question. But I did not know any of the answers, so I decided to interview a member of U of L's Pi Beta Phi chapter. Her name is Janessa Greifenkamp, and she had a lot to tell me. Here's the interview. I have a U of L sorority member here with me. Would you like to tell us your name and what sorority chapter you're in here at U of L, please?
My name is Janessa Greifenkamp, and I am a member of Pi Beta Phi, which is the Kentucky Alpha chapter here at the University of Louisville.
How long have you been involved in your sorority chapter? When did you get involved?
So I have been involved with Pi Beta Phi since January of this year.
How did you get involved in it, or what interested you to join a sorority?
So sororities are based on community and bringing together young women who strive for academic excellence, philanthropy work, and kind of giving back to the community, not only here at the University of Louisville, but also, in the local communities as well as further than that. And I just honestly, it's a great place to make friends, it's a great place to get involved, and there are so many networking opportunities as well.
So the big question here is, how is literacy practiced? And I've already talked to you about this. You can't provide any exact examples because some of it is confidential within your sorority, but what are some examples of how literacy is practiced within your sorority, communication-wise, anything?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Cooper. I would say, obviously, there are certain things I cannot give exact examples of, just because we those are, secretive to our sorority. However, we do have things called bylaws, which are kind of like a set of handbook, a handbook of rules for how things in our sorority should be done. So kind of certain rules for how our sorority should go, how tuition should be paid, kind of how to keep ourselves in line with the chapter. So I would say that would be a form of literacy, because those are documents that are provided to us. We do also have songs in our chapters. We do have things like songbooks. Let me think, what else? Could you give me some examples of
just ways of communicate, maybe even through social media?
Oh yeah, so we do utilize social media a lot as well. Our chapter has its own social media page, which kind of shares the things that we are doing in our sorority to kind of show people what we're doing with our philanthropy, new members, highlighting the good things that our members are doing on campus and in Louisville. We do also have Panhellenic does have its own social media account, which shares what all chapters here at the University of Louisville are doing, which is a great way to share how the girls on campus are involved.
Yeah. We learned from Janessa that while sororities are social groups, they're also so much more than that. They do a lot of philanthropy work in the local community and often have values rooted in academic success, camaraderie, and creating lifelong friendships and further research of what I learned in the interview, and some examples of the things Janessa could not tell me within the examples from sororities all around the world, that they use a lot of different types of literacy, such as disciplinary literacy, digital media literacy, philanthropic literacy, and so much more. They use disciplinary literacy within their bylaws, which I found examples of on the internet. The sorority constitution / bylaws tell them about everything they need to know on how the sorority hierarchy should be set up, how the payments should be handled, how much philanthropy work they should actually do, what GPA they should exceed, the traditions they must do, so much more. The Constitution tells how presidents, vice presidents, and treasurers and more should be selected. It says that in the books, like the ways they have to do that. The sorority constitution also describes how to perform the initiations, what must be talked about at chapter meetings, tradition during big events like initiations, chapter meetings, other things like that, the traditions they have to do during that, and so much more. This isn't the only kind of literacy they use, though. They also use digital media literacy, radio and social media. They use it to promote the different philanthropic activities they engage in. For example, on their Instagram, they may post about a bake sale that they have in the next few days or so, that a wider audience knows that it's there, and then they might come get the cookies. Another great example is that they use it a lot during Rush Week to attract new members. They make posts inviting all the new students to Rush to come out and visit them. They do this to reach a deeper audience, find out more people. The people actually already usually know what to look for, and then they see that, and then they know when to go. So that's why they do that. And at the Rush events, they educate them about the sorority, why they should join. And while you may not see it on the surface of a sorority, any sorority member can tell you that there is a lot of literacy involved. You have to have the literacy on the rules in order to follow them and be a good member of your sorority. You have to know how to market yourself via social media, and if you want to be in an important position in your sorority, you know the steps you must take to be in that position. In order to be a successful member of your sorority, you must have the literacy on what you must, can, and can't do.